Today I was asked to come and be a part of a monumental thing. What got me started was a publicist that I met a while back. He told me this mantra of what you believe is what you'll become. He said, if you're not sure of what you want to be in your life, he said, take your time to go to a newsstand, look at multiple magazines or look at whatever it is that catches your eye, and that's what you become. I did what he asked. I went to a newsstand and I started looking at a bunch of magazines, and I kept gravitating towards food magazines, cakes, pastas, steaks, you name it. Everything that you can name of that was food, orientated, that was me. I started working in the kitchen and started to fall in love with the fact that somebody believed in me and somebody seen my passion within my food, and it was great to know that I can put a smile on everybody's face with my food. I grew up with a single mother of like 12 kids, a bunch of brothers and sisters. There was times where my mom would be too tired to cook or whatnot, so I would jump in and try to cook. It was my worst time ever cooking, learning the process, too much salt, too much pepper, too much this, too much that. But I kind of stayed with it and tried to modify those heavy hands on the seasoning part. And as I grew older, I kind of lost sight of it. Didn't think that that was something that was a passion of mine. That's when later in my years, I met the publicist. But before that, it was all construction. Before that, kind of stir away from the food aspect of life, thinking that that was just like something to do just for my brothers and sisters, but didn't realize it was bigger than it was. I came across my friend's place at one of my lowest points in my life. I got kicked out of my house and I had to figure out how to survive. And you can call it tough love or whatnot, but I met my friend's place when I was hungry. I was really, really hungry, and they gave me a Hot Pocket. And I was like, oh man, we could do something better with this. Being a part of my friend's place was a really high point in my life, because when you're left in the wilderness on your own, it's kind of scary because you don't know what to do, what step to take. You don't know, what's your next meal or your next adventure. It's kind of just thrown at you and you got to figure it out. Having my friend's place really kind of put a structure in my life to understand that there's certain things in my life that needed to have priorities, and certain things in my life that were fun times, or times that if I had extra time, that would be it. Yeah, it was a big point in my life, big focal point. Amazing, trustworthy, and always there. Literally always there. One of the best drop-in centers across the world. I mean, hands down. Like, they took their time to really push the agenda that, don't be afraid to ask. In that situation, being homeless, you are scared to ask. You don't know who to ask. Like, even asking for a change on the side of the street, people are like, no. And a lot of the times you learn great lessons in life being homeless, like learning that no is, you can get 1,000 no's before you get that one yes. It's an unfortunate situation, but if you have somebody like my friend's place, they'll help you stay away from going down the rabbit hole that most people get stuck. And that's why it's one of the epidemics in this world right now is homelessness. A lot of people just need that helping hand to get a second chance to start all over again. I call it the rebuilding years, because you hit a snag in the road, and some people have families, some people have help, not everybody, and that's a big problem in the world. My friend's place helped me believe that to stop thinking so negative about myself. I was always putting other people before me and always thinking everything that I did was always bad. But they helped me realize I'm a great person, Sometimes, telling yourself you're a great person is not the same as knowing, or especially hearing from somebody else that actually seen you do something that was nice, or, in that form. And sometimes you got people that really just beat themselves up for everything they do just because whatever lifestyle they were, their uprisings, I think they were just a great parent figure, or guardian, through a time that was just very dark and scary. Living on the streets, it's you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. And I always say the best quote from a rapper is Kanye West. Tomorrow's never promised today, and it's so true because you can wake up or you can't, and it's a blessing just to know that even though those dark times are hitting you, you have somebody like my friend's place to go, hey, it's okay. It's okay to be okay, or it's okay not to be okay, but we're here. Aaron, Heather, and a couple other have been like a light of mine in my dark life. They've been there for times that I don't know. I shouldn't have been here a couple of times, and because of them and their advocacy, they've really helped me be here and have a daughter today and have a wife at one time, and a lot of good things that happen in my life. I like to say they contribute to it. It was great to know that even though they take their time out of their busy schedule to still try to make an effort to make sure that hey, Shane's gonna be okay, or so-and-so's gonna be okay. We just want to make sure you're gonna be okay. That's what I love about them. Their focus is very loud and clear on what they want to do. Their message is very straightforward. Let's give a helping hand to the world that needs help. Sympathy goes a long way, and knowing that you're sympathetic to knowing that you're not the only one that goes through problems, and being understanding that you have problems, they have problems, and not always trying to be so aggressive because you don't know each other. I think in this world, we got to understand that love, it doesn't just mean, oh, I love you because you're my girlfriend or you're my kid or anything like that. Love can mean just the basic. I understand you're human. I understand you got problems. Your problems might be more or less. That's why you never judge anybody by their problems, and you never assume that you have more than the other, because you never know what that next person's going through. Just always be kind, and just know that if you take the time to understand where somebody's coming from, it might help you in your situation. You might understand that, oh man, my life is not that bad. Or you might realize, I'm pretty good at this. I might be able to help somebody, work themselves through something, because in this world, suicide is one of the leading causes of death in this world. And that goes with the fact that nobody's willing to listen. And that's what I mean by being sympathetic, is that you take the time to listen. I know it sounds like it's taking too much time of your day, because we only have 24 hours a day, and majority of the time you're working. But again, just stop and be sympathetic and understand, because again, life can be given to you, but also taken from you at any time. Everytable is an amazing opportunity right now. What's great about it is that they partnered up with a drop-in center that really wants to make an effort to the world to show that, life can be very fun and very fulfilling. The message across the world is, don't worry, just live in the moment, because a lot of the times we're always focused on work, bills and all this other stuff. And sometimes you just need that reassurance that life is still there, and you can still breathe and smell the roses. And also too, it's a really great opportunity, because my wife probably would have loved the hell out of this. Excuse my French. She's a big fan of mine, even though she likes Gordon Ramsay, but she's a big fan of mine. She's always wanted the best for me, and always wanted the world to see me and have the food that I can give to the world. Trying to spread that kind of message means a lot. Showing people that you can connect with human beings on a different level is awesome. Stephanie. That's all I can say. Now, she was an amazing woman. She grew up very simple, church faring girl. Wanted a life that I would say most women want. A marriage, a happy family, all that good stuff. I Love the fact that she had the biggest heart in the world, metaphorically and physically. I never met somebody that was willing to give their everything to show somebody that there are good people in this world. I love that about her because this world never really has the moment to really understand what everybody's going through. Like a lot of people just push through, not knowing, and it's not their fault because everybody lives in their own world, not knowing that other people have either the same problems but just in a different way. A lot of the times, people not knowing somebody else, their first reaction is all attitude or anger. And with her, it was always, let me help you. What can I do for you? What's next? Oh, do you need this? You need that? I can't even count on my hands and toes or my daughter's hands and toes on how many people my wife has made some sort of impact. It's crazy to know that, that she's not here right now to see this. And I wish she was, because these are one of those moments that are forever and I won't be able to see her anymore. And I think that most people take life for granted. And even though in her situation, knowing what she was in store for, most of us don't know when we're gonna, leave this planet, and some of us do. And I think that you knowing probably will change your perspective on life. You not knowing will always be what it is today. I always appreciate her having in my life because a lot of people, like I say, tend to forget how to respect one another. It's very hard in this world because we're just so busy. She's the epitome of stop and smell the roses. So I met my wife before my friend's place. I met her while I was actually in a relationship. Again, what's so nice about her is that she was like, well, I like you, you like me, but you're in a relationship and that's not what I do. So she was very respectful. And it's one of those situations where you tell yourself, is this something you want to let go? Or are you willing to, make a ruckus in your life to make, a point or whatnot? We ended up separating for some time. I was actually at my lowest point in my life when she met me at my friend's place. I was wearing a orange shirt, really big, like 3 times my size, some yellow sweats, and some brown Vans. Very just unorganized, uncoordinated, whatnot. And I don't know what it was, but she seen me out of everybody and she jumped on top of my lap and she was like, excited about seeing me. We ended up going to her house and she said, go get your stuff off the side of the freeway and come live with me. We didn't, our real anniversary is December 24th. And I remember this clearly because she lived on 3rd and Kingsley and we stayed in this apartment complex that had a roof. And we went to the top of the roof with an umbrella while it was raining and thundering and lightning. And I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And so we ended up having our first kiss on December 24th. At that point, history is what it is today, relationships are beautiful when you're willing to work for it. Just like life, you build relationships with many people and, you get the beautiful part of it is all the gifts and abundance of love that you can get from all around the world or from whatever your situation is. It was nice. It was just nice to be married to somebody that understood me and had a lot of belief that I can do better and, show the world what I have. So there was this one time I had just got a job and we just probably 2 weeks in the relationship, she said that she was trying to get me Red Robins and she found that the time management was going to be a little bit off and she wanted to make sure I had food when I got home. I told her, I was like, it's not necessary. I'm good. I cook for a living like I'm probably eating now. So I ended up going home and she had made spaghetti with frozen meatballs and jalapenos. I thought it was amazing because she was like, "Oh, I put the jalapenos in there because I know you're Latino and all that stuff." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I love the correlation here. I love spice, Tex-Mex, I get it." I started laughing. Ever since then, I found that anytime that we had a moment where we weren't vibing, food would always bring us back. It was amazing because like later, like probably, I want to say 6 months down the road, we found ourselves in another situation where I had to cook out of a microwave. And it was crazy because I made spaghetti out of a microwave. She was so impressed because she was like, "I've never had spaghetti like this." And I'm like, "Oh, you just had microwave spaghetti. Like, let me actually cook the sauce for you and whatnot." But she was like, "No, I'm just impressed that you can cook out of a microwave." And we did like homemade meatballs and, spaghetti sauce. And it was a process, trust me. We started at like 12 in the afternoon, maybe 11 a.m. And I wasn't finished until about 8 or 9 at night. A lot of microwave. I mean, that poor microwave, I was surprised it made it through the night. When it came to holidays, my wife was a big, firm believer of not doing things so traditionally. Our first year together, we made a Chipotle rub turkey. The way I put it together, I don't think it was gonna be really good. And I was like crossing my fingers and I was hoping, because it was the first time I ever did it. So, you get one turkey, so you better make it right, I guess I hit the spot and she was like, "Forget this, no more regular turkeys. We're having different turkeys every year." And so traditionally for us, we always switched it up. So we had like a rosemary sage, chipotle, lemon pepper. And I believe the last one we had was, I want to say like a Korean spicy turkey. That was very unique, I think. It was weird. I liked it, but it was weird. But yeah, I just try to do something different all the time. Give a twist to holidays. Why be so uniform? Let's think outside the box. And that's what I liked about her. She never had things one way. It always had to be different. Like food is just like life, it brings abundance of joy to you, especially when you eat it. Everybody's always happy. Everybody's at their happiest moment, especially in holidays. I like to say it's the food, not the holiday, but we can argue the point of what it is, that's fine. For sure. The epitome of Thanksgiving, I want it. What an inspiration. See you there.
Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.